Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Tuesday the 9th and Wednesday the 10th of August 2023. Well, obviously didn't have a video up yesterday. After that shambles of a performance, I thought, well, if the players can't be bothered, why should I? And I've decided just to do a double video the day after on that shit show. So here we go. Well, actually, before we go, maybe this is symptomatic of how little regard was given to this game. The club put up the preview stuff for it just on the day, so like a couple of hours before the game kicked off. They put all this stuff up. So the match day mascot. This is from millwallfc.co.uk. It's the mascot for that game is Molly Pittman. There she is there, the one on the right. She's 11 years old. She's from Thurrock in Essex. Just left Tudor Court Primary School and starts at William Edwards Secondary School in August. So, in August? Well, they went back to school in September. Molly's favourite player is Tom Bradshaw, who she thinks is quality, and her hobbies include attending Lions matches home and away and spending time with her friends and family. We hope you have a wonderful night, Molly. Well, I doubt that she did. I'm sure she was excited at the start, but as the day went on, I'm sure it kind of soured. Message board for that game. Short and sweet. Below is the entry sent to the club ahead of Tuesday night's Carabao Cup first round tie against Reading at the Den. Happy 50th birthday to Dave. Lots of love from Lisa, Holly, Dad, Stu and Ange. So there you go. There's Dave, 50 years old. In his Millwall 2004 shirt and Bromley a cardigan, jacket. So there you go. And that was it. If you want to appear on the message board, you've just got to email slo@millwallfc.co.uk and you'll be on the website. So there you go. Now, if you haven't heard, I'm sure you have, Millwall were absolutely thumped, destroyed, in a pitiful display at home. They lost 4-0 to Reading. Got to say, in living memory, my living memory, it might be different for some of you watching this, the older gents and ladies. This is probably the worst game since the Millwall 0 Rotherham 6 game. So yeah, there's that. Utterly bizarre. Utterly bizarre. If you don't know about that, the Rotherham result many years ago, basically what happened was players were promised some kind of bonus, and Theo didn't pay it out, and players just turned up and didn't try, didn't bother, ended up losing 6-0. First game in the season, first game. So that's a joy. And here we go, second game in the season. We lose 4-0 at home to Reading. Not even Reading's first team. Reading's basically under 21's team. They made as many changes as we did, maybe even more. I think they even did what I suggested Gary Out might be doing, is put a second goalkeeper on the bench. That's how little few players they had. So yeah, this is the match report from substandard.co.uk. Millwall suffered a Carabao Cup bloody nose as they were shockingly bludgeoned by League One Reading. The recently relegated side had not been having the best time of things recently, but a youthful team lifted the mood, with Kelvin Hebetierman snatching a brace, Charlie Savage scoring his first goal for the club, while Mohamedi Camara claimed a fourth. It's Ruben Sellers' first competitive win since he took over in the summer. It came from a side that contained 9 players 21 years old or younger in the starting lineup. So Reading's under 21s beat Millwall's first team. Well, to be fair, it wasn't the first team, obviously, but it was the first team squad. 4-0. Reading had also not won on their travels since last November, so it's their first away win since November 2022. How Millwall managed to slip up so badly given all those factors is something of a mystery, as the team delivered a performance that was the polar opposite of their professional, diligent and effective opening day win at Middlesbrough. Rout only made 5 changes with the star from the Riverside Remain SA among those included. Things started off badly, with Reading scoring after just 55 seconds. Caelan Vickers, 18, who was making his first start for the Royals, slipped the ball into Ibitman, who suddenly burst towards the 6-yard box. He flicked it past Bartosz Biakowski, leaving the home fans who had already found their seat totally stunned. It set the tone for a chaotic and breathless opening 20 minutes, with much of it centred around Reading fullback Amadi Mbenge. Very few Millwall fans would have heard of the 21-year-old before tonight, but he became the Den's latest pantomime villain very quickly. Things started off sympathetically after he spent several minutes on the ground after a head clash with Tom Bradshaw, but once he was back on his feet, the drama began. Mbenge launched into two ill-judged leaps at Murray Wallace and Zion Fleming, minutes apart, with referee Lee Doherty, the second most disliked person in this part of London on Tuesday night, failing to give a free kick for either. Wallace played on for a few minutes with bandages around his head, while the challenge on Fleming led to a Reading chance that should have made it 2-0. The impressive Mohammadi Camara picked the ball up from Mbenge's challenge, played in Vickers, but the striker fired wide after going through on goal on the counter-attack. Both Wallace and Mbenge were subbed off minutes apart due to their injuries, and the toxic atmosphere of the game abated slightly. Millwall was steadily improving, but the only time Reading goalkeeper Kania Boyce Clark had to do anything of note in the first half hour was when he saved a scuffed Fleming shot from the edge of the box. A fluffed header by Dan McNamara after Jake Cooper got in his way left the Lions brewing a chance from close range before good interplay between Ryan Leonard and McNamara saw SA have a shot that was deflected away from goal. The second half began, and Reading took minutes rather than seconds this time to strike. Vickers received the ball in the area and drove a shot from close range at Biakowski. The keeper was only able to tip the shot onto the inside of the post, opening the door for Hibitum man to tap the ball home on the goal line. Millwall fans grew increasingly unhappy as the half wore on, both as their side's lacklustre showing and that the referee, who they felt was not giving any decisions their way. And soon supporters were heading towards the exit after George Saville fouled Bitterman on the edge of the area. Saville, the son of former player and TV pundit Robbie Savage, stepped up and whipped the ball up and over the wall to notch up his first Reading goal since his summer signing. But there were question marks over the goalkeeping as Biakowski got more than a hand to the ball and still saw it go past him. The Lions rallied in second half. Subs Andres Vogelsama and Idomu Umaku brought energy and goal threat to the team, but it would be Reading to pounce again, make the scoreline even more emphatic. The substitute Basil Tuma broke through the back line and slipped it into Camara, who nudged it home in the final minute of normal time. 8 minutes were added on in line with the new EFL regulations, but the damage was already too vast and shocking. Millwall limped to the final whistle, and the only noise at full time was the ecstatic cheers of travelling fans. The Millwall team was Biakowski, Hutchinson, Cooper, Leonard, McNamara, Billy Mitchell, Saville, Wallace, SA, Bradshaw, Fleming. The subs were Brian on 20 minutes for Murray Wallace. Nobody at half time. Let's wait until the 61st minute. Just like a pre-season friendly. Imaku on for McNamara, 61 minutes. Evans on for Billy Mitchell, 61 minutes. Nisbet on for SA, 61 minutes. Vogelsam on for Bradshaw, 61 minutes. And Harding on for Hutchinson, 77 minutes. And the attendance, according to this, is 5,468. But we have a different number somewhere else, so I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, it was absolutely abysmal. And here's the thing, Bart was shocking. More on that later when we get to the stats. A few things. What can I talk about? A few things. Here's the thing. So either we were so shockingly bad that this is very worrying. That they sincerely, if they sincerely, the management and the players sincerely try to win that game, then we have a problem, because that's very worrying. Not only that, but the fact that we have another League One team, Reading, what they were doing was running through the middle of us directly, just like Charlton did in the pre-season friendly, and they were absolutely destroying us. Countering through the middle with pace, because we're playing this system where we've only got 2 midfielders in the middle, and then you've got the wingers, and there's massive gaps in the middle of the park because they're not tucking in. All they're doing is running up the line. So it's either we were sincerely trying to win that, and it's massive, really, really worrying that we were so poor, so bad, or they didn't give a fuck about that. They didn't want to play the extra game, the extra midweek game, and they deliberately threw that game, which is even worse. And I don't want to even think about that. So it was either they tried and they were so bad that they got absolutely smashed, or they wanted to lose the game and played accordingly, which is even worse. Now, one thing that stood out was Bart Biakowski. He was absolutely dog shit. A lot of things you can see there on the right hand side. That this most popular article is still about George Long. No one's talked about Bart. Obviously, we brought in this super duper goalkeeper Sharkic, who wasn't in the squad for that game. It was Conal Truman that was on the bench. Everyone's talking about George Long. Obviously, he's thrown his toys out the pram. He wants to leave now. He's basically handed in a transfer request, but I don't think he's done it officially. He's just spoken to Gary Rowett and said he wants to leave. He wants to be a number 1 somewhere. But no one spoke about Bart. Because you got Bart there, you got George Long there. So Bart's looking at George Long, seeing him in the team, seeing he's not very good. Bart's probably thinking, I've got a chance to compete with this guy to start playing and be the number 1. Whereas when they bring this new guy in, Sharkic, Bart's up shit creek without a paddle. Because I'm sure the club, all things being good, would want Sharkic to be number 1, George Long to be number 2, and be happy with that. But he's not. Obviously, he wants to leave. And then you go to Bart, and Bart's now the number 2, and he's a solid number 2. I'm sure Bart's seen this guy, Sharkic, and he knows he's not going to compete with him. So what's that doing to his head? That he's literally going to be a bench warmer. He's hardcore bench warmer. He's got no chance of playing. But here's the thing. If you knew that, if you're thinking like that, when you get a chance to play in this game and you play so badly, but that's the thing, like, your head's gone. You're like, fuck. He went from sincerely believing that he could compete with George Long for the number 1 shirt to literally overnight being completely out of the picture. He probably thought he was going to be third, like totally out of it. The 3rd choice goalkeeper. And then George Long's like, oh, I want to be a number 1. And he's just gone off. And I'm sure he sat home watching this. He's laughing his fucking bollocks off. He's George Long at what the fucking disaster this game was. So, oh, I'm shit, am I? George Long, am I shit? Well, what the fuck was that from Bart Biakowski? But then, you know what I mean? Like, you've got to step up. You want to compete. If you want to compete with Sharky, you've got to step up and play well in games like this. He was absolutely abysmal, but it wasn't just him. It was the whole team. And here's the thing. So it wasn't just them. So that was the match report from Southern News. So on Tuesday, 8 championship teams lost. Southampton lost. Hull lost. Millwall lost. Sunderland, Watford, Preston, West Brom and Huddersfield all got knocked out. And Saints, they lost away at Gillingham. So well done to Neil Harris and the rest of the ex-Millwall lads down at Gillingham, who smashed Saints 3-1. And here's the funny thing. So obviously the teams that played on Wednesday, the only championship team that lost on Wednesday was Coventry. Coventry lost away at Wimbledon. Here's the thing. The team that we're playing next, Bristol City, they beat Oxford United 5-1. So that's now got me worried about Saturday. Like, how are we going to play on Saturday? Cardiff went through on penalties against Colchester United. Ipswich Town beat Bristol Rovers 2-0. Leeds beat Shrewsbury Town 2-1. And Leicester City beat Burton Albion 2-0. So this kind of all the teams on Tuesday probably gave the teams who were playing on a Wednesday a bit of a warning. So if we would have played today on a Wednesday, we may have actually tried and won that game, seeing all the other teams do so poorly. But we played on the Tuesday and we ended up losing. So yeah, here we go. Not really going to read this because I don't really care. But yes, so many teams ended up losing. And the draw was against Ipswich Town anyway. So we would have had Ipswich Town. I'm sure we wouldn't have wanted that. Yeah, just a complete fucking nightmare. Like symptomatic, isn't it? Like championship clubs don't give now. It used to be the Premier League teams didn't give a shit about this competition. Now it's championship teams don't give a shit about this competition. And you got to think why that is. And going back to talking about that Rotherham game about the bonuses, like what are the bonuses for the bonuses this season for the Millwall players? What are they for the League Cup? Do they get any bonuses? Because you probably think, well, why should that matter? Well, they're professionals. This is their job. They get paid to do this. So if they get a win bonus for a championship game, that might be £1,000 or whatever. They obviously care. They want to try. Because they get paid. They get PAYE. They get paid as you earn. But they see that on their wage slip. Whereas if they've got to play an extra game in the middle of the week. They probably don't get any money. Why would they care? But like I said, it's either worrying that we're shit or it's worrying that they threw the game. Now, some more post-match comments and stuff from southernnews.co.uk. Not fair to pinpoint people. Millwall boss responds after being quizzed on one player in Reading defeat. The Royals thumped the Lions on a difficult night at the Den. Gary Rao said he did not want to pinpoint individual players for blame after being quizzed on Bartosz Białkowski in the Reading defeat. The goalkeeper made his first appearance for the club since January, so maybe he was a bit rusty, but he shipped 4 goals in Millwall's unexpected Carabao Cup collapse. Some fans raised concerns over the goalkeeper with a couple of Reading strikes, including Charlie Surbage's free kick to make it 3-0, but Rao said he would review the game before making snap judgment. Well, like I said, what's happened to Bart now? He thought he was competing for first place. Now he's solid second. That's only if George Long gets a transfer out, which he's trying to make. But what happens if he doesn't? He's going to have to come back and be number 2. So now Bart's a solid number 3. So I think, in all honesty, I think we've got to say goodbye to George Long and we've got to say goodbye to Bart Białkowski. And then Connell Truman's number 2. And he's been sitting in the background just ticking along nicely, playing the odd under 21 game and taking part in training, and he might end up being the number 2. When asked about the keeper, he told reporters, "I'll watch the game back, I'll watch the goals back, I'll look at every player and see where every player could do better. And what we could do better as a team, I don't think it's fair to pinpoint people. Anyone that came into the team had an opportunity to show what they can do today. I'll watch the game back and I'll assess that tomorrow." Rowett did, however, lament the team's defending collectively. He said, "The goals we conceded were woefully poor. If you watched them back, they were terrible goals to concede. And that sums up the evening. I think Reading thoroughly deserved the win. They were far better than us. They ran with more intensity. They looked like they wanted to fight and play for each other more than we did. And we got what we deserved, and they got what they deserved, which was a cracking win for them." So there you go. But when you've got the manager, how did the manager treat the game? Did he treat it like a game that he wanted to win? Or did he just, "I'll go out there, lads, don't get injured and don't get sent off"? Because what happened last season in the game at Cambridge United, which we lost 1-0, Honeyman was sent off and Tom Bradshaw got injured in the 3rd minute. So I'm sure he's like, yeah, just go out and if he's like lackadaisical as well, that's obviously going to transfer to the lads. And you think, well, how do we know that? Well, the fact that he's making changes in 61 minutes when we've been absolutely dog shit and outplayed, How about making changes at half time? The changes he made didn't look like he was trying to win the game. It looked like a pre-season game where he's trying to give people minutes on the pitch. Like I said, I hope this is. I don't know which way to go. Either we're shit or we're bent as 9 bob note. For all the fans that went to that game, trains not running after, the difficulty that we've had travelling home, and you're seeing that. That's what they serve up. Also from southernnews.co.uk, Millwall boss provides Murray Wallace update after defender subbed off following clash of heads in Reading defeat. So yeah, he got subbed off in the 20th minute for Brian, who looked good when he came on. In fact, all of the subs seem to be the star people in that in terms of Millwall players. It was a substitute who actually tried. Wallace was involved in a frantic opening 20 minutes that saw plenty of collisions. Gary has revealed Murray Wallace needed 6 stitches after a clash of heads with Reading's Amadou Menge. The defender was eventually subbed off, trying to carry on with a bandage around his head in the first half, and Menge had earlier clashed with Tom Bradshaw, leaving the Royals defender slumped on the floor. But he would then have aerial collisions with both Wallace and Zion Fleming before the Reading man was also subbed off due to his head injury. Raised issues with how the referee Lee Doty handled the situation following the 4-0 loss. The Lions boss said, "Well, he's got 6 stitches in the start of his head. I don't think it was a great challenge at the time. I think he came through the back and was It's an aggressive challenge, but I don't blame the player for trying to make it. I said to the referee at half time, sometimes rather worrying than who's kicking the ball away and who's wasting time, you have to concentrate on poor challenges that hurt players and put them in danger. He didn't mean to let that one go. He didn't mean to not give a foul. I think it was just a decision he made. But we have to be a little bit more careful with those ones." Yeah, so everyone's talking about the time adding on, time wasting. They're going to book people's time wasting as early as 10 minutes worth if you make actions that delay the game. And they're just all focusing on that, and they're missing the woods for the trees. Checking out the fucking fouling and stuff. How about doing that? Doing the job that you're supposed to be doing and you were doing before. Pictures from the game from millfc.co.uk. They didn't load. Let's try and get them loading up. We'll see if they do. That's the new kit. Leaked it. Yeah, funnily enough, the club put out a banger of a kit the day after we get absolutely smashed in an abysmal performance. I wonder if they had that up their sleeve, just ready to go. And there's, talking of kits, look at Reading's shit grey and dark grey kit. Some kind of joke. Yeah, George Evans got some game time. They all look good, but I mean, they all look good in photographs, but the actual videos, video nasty. Here we go. The day after the abysmal defeat. Like I said, did they have this up their sleeve, ready to go? Thinking, oh, we're going to lose against Reading. Let's get this ready. I don't know. But this banger of a kit, the Dutch kit, the orange kit. I don't know if you remember many years ago, probably quite a while now, probably 10 years or so. The Bukta kit. They were copying. They did an orange kit like the Dutch. They did a Brazil kit. Very good. I got them. I still wear the orange one. I love it. It's absolutely brilliant. But yeah, this is a banger. This is the best kit yet. I think it's orange. I'm not sure about the badge being orange as well. I don't. That's a bit of overkill. Even though it's a different shade of orange, it's a bit weird. But yeah, this is banging. But here's the thing. So I don't know why they're doing this. They're doing some fucking her game 2 bullshit. And Aria actually do women's kits. So I'm pretty sure that we're wearing a women's kit. So the men's kit will have a different fit, but they haven't bothered to show us that for some fucking reason. Even though 99% of the kits they sell will be men's kits. Yeah, they've doing some bullshit about her game too. I don't give a fuck about that. I just want to see the kit. The new third kit is predominantly orange with a black V-neck collar and black sleeve tips on the shirt, black tips on the shorts, and black tops on the socks. And the strip will be worn across various away fixtures 23-24. Obviously not available in the club shop yet. Why would it be? Oh, it's on sale now. Millwall's third kit is on sale now, but it's available online only. An in-store sale date will be confirmed in due course. So is that pre-orders online? Or will you be able to just get it straight away? Who knows? Who knows? But there you go. Like, these pictures aren't even that good. I mean, like, can't even see the shirt properly, but hey. Feminism, am I right, girls? Moving on to talking of stuff actually being in the Lion store that you can go to, touch it, see it, turn it around, hold it up against yourself in front of the mirror. Does this look good on me? I don't know. So here you go. You can actually get the training kit in the Lion store now. A selection of 23-24 Millwall training wear is available in the Lion store now. Kit yourself out in the first team squad's everyday wear in store only. Oh, so this is weird. What is going on with the shop? So the kits are only available online. This training wear is only available in store. Same old, is it? The more things change, the more they say they stay the same. Absolutely bizarre fucking Millwall shop. This stuff is in the store only. This stuff is online only. Make it make sense. What the fuck is going on? The store will be open from 10 to 5 p.m. on Monday to Saturday and up until kick-off on Tuesday night as the Lions host Reading in the Carabao Cup. Whilst it will be closed on Sunday. So, there you go. Yeah, utterly fucking bizarre. So, the training wear, you can't buy it online. You have to go to the store. But you can't get the kits in store, so you won't be able to see them yet. They're not available in store. You can buy them, but you have to pre-order them online. Ah, Jesus Christ. What the fuck is going on? So that's it for all the news now. I'm going to move into the stats. I know you don't like the stats because the stats video I did the other day, the views are terrible, but I like doing it. So if that's it, goodbye. If you're going to click off now, bye-bye, bye-bye. Here we go for the stats. This is from our fbref.com. I think it's football reference, something like that. We're going to go through the stats from this game. Now, this is slightly different from the one that I showed you the other day because they don't have the XG. I think it's because it's a League Cup game. They don't have all the stats. So they have different stats available. Here are the match events. Obviously, the goal in the first minute. Bookings for Reading. Reading seem to be being a bit tasty, shall we say, being getting stuck in, as mentioned, injury to Murray Wallace, 6 stitches in his head. Will he be able to play against Bristol City? Who knows? I don't know. What then? Who does? Extremely worrying. And here are you can see the substitutes on the 61st minute. Let's give everyone a game after we're 2-0 down. Joy. So yeah, there you go. And then we've got George Evans and Joe Bryan picking up bookings right at the end of the game when we're 3-0 down. Possession, we had 59% of possession to 41. But like I said, they don't actually have the full list of stats here. But what they do have on this site, which is better, here are the goalkeeping stats, which I don't have on the other one I'm going to show you. So, shot stopping, or lack of it, from Bart Biakowski. Shots on target against. So shots on target, shots on the goal that Bart had to save, 5. Goals, 4. He made 1 save. Obviously, he got his hand to, I think, 2 of the other ones, but they still went in. That's mediocre. That's abysmal. That's, like I said, but what is it? How is he? What is that a reflection of? The fact that he's rusty, hasn't played since January. The fact that the new guy's come in and he's now number 3, though he's technically number 2 because George Long's thrown his toys out of the pram. But if George Long don't get a move away where he's the number one, George Long going to stay and then be number two, and then Bart's out? The picture he's number three. Has Bart's head gone a bit wobbly with all these goal kicks coming? I don't know. But if we look at the Reading goalkeeper, he had to make 4 saves. He made 4 saves. He saved every shot that was on target. So there you go. That's from fbref.com. And moving on to whoscored.com, they have a bit more details. If you look on the right hand side, you will notice that the highest rated players, the 5, are all Reading players, even though Millwall had a lot of shots. Most tackles were the Reading players, and dribbles were Millwall. So, shots on target, attempts on goal, 20 to Millwall, 11 to Reading, 11 to 8 open play, 9 to 2 set piece, 0 to 1 counter attack. Reading had 11 shots, they scored 4 goals. That's a conversion rate of 36%. I think that is genuinely the worst I've ever seen when I've been doing these videos and looking at the stats, to have a conversion rate of 36%. Yeah, just horrendous, absolutely horrendous. We were mostly going down both wings, they were mostly going down the right hand side. Shot directions, shot zones, action zones, player positions. Wow, okay. You can see how we were playing some kind of high line, and whoever was, so Fleming was Fleming supposed to be on the left, and he threw his toys out the pram and didn't go out there. And they were, you can see what happened. Look, they were just going down the left. Or for Reading, if you look at Reading, you see 27, 40, 29 all bunched up. You see for Millwall, no one's on the left. So Reading's, so it looks like Fleming's kept coming in, and he's not sticking out on the left. Ah, Jesus Christ. And then you've got the massive gap there, which they were taking away, they were exploiting. And the player that was furthest forward, I believe that is Romain Esse, number 25. And you see how Millwall playing, so it looked like Millwall were playing a back 4. Or no, it looked like they were, because Danny McNamara was pushing up all the time. And that meant there was massive gaps between the Hutch and who's 18? Who the fuck's 18? Don't know who 18 is. Who is that? Ryan Leonard? I think that might be Ryan Leonard. But yeah, that's, you can see what's happened there. It's just utterly bizarre. Utterly bizarre. You can see the 42, the 28, and the 15 for Reading are still compact in the middle of the park, just taking advantage of these gaps between the centre backs, and just ripped us apart. Came straight through the middle of us. Absolute nightmare. Moving on to another page from whoscored.com, the match centre. Here are all the match events. We've already seen them on the other website though. See them again. Now, if you look at top left, top right by the club badges for the average player rating for Millwall, which is 6.16, the average player rating for Reading, which is 7.19. That is a whole point difference. That is absolutely incredible. That is the kind of difference that you see in an FA Cup game, where you've got like a team in the Championship and a non-league team. But this time it's the League One team that's got the whole point difference over Millwall. Yeah, utterly disgusting. Disgusting. So yeah. So who was our highest rated player? It was George Saville 7.2. And that is literally... Okay. C. I think C means clearance off the line. Yeah. So in terms of Millwall ratings, we've got Bart Biakowski 5.3. We've got Leonard is 18. We've got Billy Mitchell 5.8, Fleming 5.9, Murray Wallace 5.8. He's only on the pitch for 20 minutes though. Be aware of that. We've got Bradshaw 5.7. And you can see all the subs when they came on got better. Looks like they got better score than the players they replaced. Probably not the one who replaced McNamara and SA, but yeah. We scroll down. So if we look at the total shots, Mill actually had more shots than they did. We had 20 shots. How many of them were on target though? More on that later. Cooper with 4, Fleming with 3, SA with 2, Brian when he come on with 2, and Leonard with 2, and Hutch with 1. Possession 59.2 to 40.8, and most of that was Cooper, Hutch, and George Saville. So it looks like the players who got on the ball the most for Millwall got the higher rating. Looks like if we go back to the players on the ball the most: Cooper, Hutch, Leonard, Saville. Go back to ratings. Yeah, basically, except for McNamara's high as well on SA. Pass success percentage 79 to 72. Bart Biakowski 63% pass success percentage. Was he playing the short balls? Normally he's in the 20s. I'm guessing he wasn't kicking it long to SA and Bradshaw. No point in that. Murray Wallace with 50%. Obviously, he was only on the pitch for 20 minutes. Dribbles 12 to 6. And again, most of that's coming from the substitutes. Look at that, Maku there. Bright spark in Maku when he came on. Like all of the subs were just like a different kettle of fish, like night and day. Aerials won 21 to 13. And there they are. Cooper with 6, McNamara 3. But here's the one, tackles. Reading were just all on us all day. So you can see we were mostly going down the wings, according to that thing I showed you before. Look who's got the most tackles for Reading. Nibs and Camera. 19 to 37 on the tackle. Massively out tackled. Obviously we had more of the possession by 59 to 40, so they would have to tackle us more to get the ball, but they did. Now this is worrying and troubling, seeing as 12 corners. These are the people I think who won the corners. We had 12 corners and we didn't score. How many corners does it take to score? How many Millwall players does it take to change a light bulb? How many corners do we have to have before we score a goal? 12? 20 in a game? 50? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? 12 corners and you can't score. Dispossessed 22 times. Obviously, Reading were over us like a rash. And once they stole the ball from us, they just run straight through the middle. And there's all the players who got dispossessed. SA 5 times, Bradshaw 3 times, Fleming 3 times. Fun times. So we're going to finish up by looking at this. So how many shots did we have on target? We had 20 shots. How many were on target? 4. 20 shots, 4 on target, 0 goals. Like I said before, it needs to be halving each time. So it needs to be 20, 10 on target, 4 goals. 4 free goals. That's fair. This is awful. And you can see why they didn't get a good rating. Like Nisbet didn't get a good rating because he had 3 shots on target. He had 3 shots, got 1 on target in the Middlesbrough game, so he didn't get a good rating from whoscored.com. And here you got Zion Flynn with 3 shots, 2 on target. And he gets a rating of 5.89, and his passing accuracy was only 69. So who had the most touches for Millwall? Jake Cooper 98, then Ryan Leonard, then George Saville, and then Joe Bryan, who had 20 minutes less on the pitch. And then it drops off quite significantly between Hutch and McNamara. And again, they didn't even have that much time on the pitch. Fleming had 90 minutes on the pitch. He only had 42 touches. Other players had more touches than him. Here's Bartosz Białkowski with 34 touches. Most of them were the failed saves that he made, where he palmed it into his own goal. Top-notch stuff there, mate. So let's have a look at offense, and let's scroll down and see, because we've already seen. So they had, what was it, 12 shots, 11 shots. How many shots did they have on target? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So according to this site, they had 6 shots on target and 4 winning. That's abysmal. That's absolutely abysmal. But again, they did it right. Like I said, 12 shots, 6 on target, 4 goals. Each time it needs to go down by half. If you do that, you'll bang on form. Millwall didn't. 20 shots, 4 on target, 0 goals. And you can see here the subs, because we didn't see them. The subs unused: Connell Truman, Duncan Watmore, Casper De Noor. So let's sort it by rating. So the second highest rated player was a substitute, 6.8. Idomu Maku, 4th, came on. He only had 30 minutes on the pitch, got 6.38, 4th best player. See, let's scroll down. So we've got Bart right at the bottom, 5.29. Absolutely abysmal. That was so bad. Tom Bradshaw had an hour on the pitch, got 5.74. He got a worse rating than Murray Wallace, who was on the pitch for 20 minutes, 5.78. Billy Mitchell had an hour on the pitch, 5.84. So obviously the player that came on for him got a better rating than him. Zion Fleming on the pitch for 90 minutes, 5.89. Got beaten by Kevin Nisbet and George Evans and Andres Vogelsammer and Wes Harding, who only had, 20 minutes on the pitch. It's not looking good, is it? The more you look at it, the worse it gets. So George Saville there, the only one with a 7 rating, and then the only other one with more than 6.5 is Joe Bryan. Joe Bryan did look good. He did. You can see the quality there. And Odomo Maku just bust in the gut. He obviously wants to do something in this game. Only 19 years old, wants to progress, wants to establish himself in professional football and probably for Ireland as well. And you can see he actually gave a shit. Defensively, great. It didn't come up. If we try and refresh it, see if it pops up. So let's try that again. Defensively, here we go. It did turn up. So tackles: Ryan Leonard with 3, Cooper with 3, George Saville with 3. Interceptions: Jake Cooper with 3. Clearances: Hutch with 3, Joe Bryan with 2, Bart with 2. Onto block shots, obviously not much blocking of the shots, as they had 6 shots on target, 4 went in. So George Saville blocked the other 2 shots. Passing wise, so why was Bart's passing so high? It's 63%. So he had 16 long balls, so he had 11 short. So is that part of the reason as well? Did Gary out and tell him to play the ball short instead of pumping it long? And obviously trying to pass the ball around. We got caught out. If we'd have just pumped it long, maybe it would have been different. So then, like, it's the instructions that they were given by the manager. Bart was told to play a certain way, which he probably can't do, and ended up coming unstuck. Is it that? I don't know. I literally don't know. Does it matter? Does it matter that we played so badly? Here's the thing: if we play against Bristol City and we absolutely wipe the floor of them, or we just play well and sneak a result, I don't think anyone's really going to be bothered about this game. It's gone and it's done and dusted. But you're worrying about that Bristol City game now, especially since Bristol City won 5-1 against Oxford today. So passes. Who had the most passes? Jake Cooper, then Hutch. And so again, they're playing the ball between them at the back. George Saville 50, Brian 46. Passing accuracy. Wes Harding 8 passes, 100%. And then Danny Mack, and then Sean Hutchinson, and George Evans. George Evans, well, he's only on the pitch for half an hour. Crosses and accurate crosses. George Saville 11-4, Ryan 3-2, Vogelsama 3-1. Long balls, accurate long balls. So Jake Cooper. So we have Jake Cooper playing more long balls than Bart Biakowski. Was Bart injured? Was Bart not able to kick the ball long? Was he injured? If he's injured, then you've got to point the finger at Gary Rowett. Why are you playing him? Did Gary Rowett know he was injured? Because was it last season or the season before? Turns out Bart broke his hand, and we didn't know until the end of the season. Is Bart injured? Is he not able to kick it long? No. He's seemingly passing it short to Jake Cooper and Sean Hutchinson, who then kick it long. So we've got a 36-year-old keeper who can't save the ball and he can't kick long balls. That's not good. That's not good at all. Time to pull the plug? Question mark. But Hutch 19 long balls, 15 accurate. Nice. Bart only 16-6. Ryan Leonard 10-3. Saville 8-6. George Evans 4-4. He is useful for something. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, there's the only stat that matters is 0-4. Like I said, this is sincerely they tried to win that game, and it's very worrying about how we played, or they wanted to lose and they did, and that's even worse. It's kind of like match fixing, but we'll see. Yeah, utterly abysmal. Second worst result in living memory since that Rotherham game. And now we'll see what happens against Bristol City, and they can just wipe the slate clean, and we'll restart if they do well in that game and win that game. And that's how football is, isn't it? Game by game. That's all that matters. And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.